It's indeed a great honor for all of us. Let us all stand up together and give a high. There is no doubt that she is the most popular citizen of this city, of the state of Delhi, and we are all really very, very proud of her. She has initiated so many certain. The green city today is a clean city today, is a city where everything. Gift that we have received from this Chief Minister is the Bhagidari program, in which the citizens are here right this morning to give us all a direction, a new direction into the field of health, because you would all agree health is wealth of us, and thereby it helps us not only eliminate the disease or sickness but improve our wellness, our mental, our emotional, and even our spiritual well-being. So we start this function with a welcome address by, ladies and gentlemen, this function is being held under the banner of the Indian Medical Association headquarters. And we have here Dr.
Good morning everyone. Thank you Dr. Tuli. On behalf of IMA headquarters, India International Center, which is the host of the event, Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, CBI for sending the support, Time Foundation, and Apollo Hospital, Department of Holistic Medicine. So I welcome you all for today's program. Basically, what we want not add life to it. We want basically to add life to years, not year to life. And as someone said, "Pehla sukh nirogi kaya, dusra sukh jo hove maya." Now with the national policy coming, the IMA also wants that there should be a board of holistic medicine in all the departments, in all the medical colleges, and definitely will want the help of Chief Minister as far as Delhi. We can take the lead as we have taken lead in a lot of ways. We want that improvement in the final outcome of the every child and in every sickness. IMA Academy of Medical Science headquarters will be starting PG course in acute pressure, hypnotherapy, and PG diploma in holistic medicine. As WHO has said, they have now coined the word CAM, complementary and alternate medicines. Now complementary medicine was initially homeopathic, Ayurvedic and other things. Now alternate medicine, the field is quite high. We are looking into the other field of medical tourism also, and India can show the way to rest of the world in the field of medical tourism, and I think Apollo Hospital has taken lead in that. I thank the director of Apollo Hospital, Dr. Anupam Sipar, who is our colleague in pediatrics also, Dr. Tuli, who has taken a keen interest and will definitely take that, everyone takes a note of it and gives some comment on holistic medicine, how we want to lead. Thank you from IMA headquarters.
For your welcome address, I request Dr. Dalbir Singh, the chairman of Central Bank of India, whose initiative for Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan to get this program started, but it was the stimulus, the financial stimulus provided by Central Bank of India that we have been able to organize this function for all of you. And now I have Dr. Dalbir Singh to give us a few words of his wisdom.
Honorable Chief Minister of Delhi, Mrs. Sheila Dikshit, Dr. Tuli, dignitaries of the dais, ladies and gentlemen. We are honored to be associated with this noble cause on the medicine. Ravi, Poonam and Mahek, as a family, are doing a your service to the society. We have heard a lot that when a person gets indisposed, then he searches for a doctor, whether the doctor is allopathic or homeopathic, whether he is practicing in acupuncture, acupressure, or any other medicine. the patient goes for the relief, and wherever he gets or she gets relief, he or she intended to go to that person again and again. I came into the contact of this family 25 years back, and I found a spiritual touch in the family. And thereafter, I may share with all of you, I got a spondylitis, healed me, and I did not have that. After that, I am fully okay for the last 15 years. That inspired. There is a power beyond, and we have seen when our relations, when our near dear ones are in the hospital, and when the doctors are making operations on them, then they say that we have done the dawa, but you should go for dua. You should beg from the Almighty of His life and of His well-being. Therefore, when this idea came of Suhan, an idea came that there can be, the human beings can be cured from a spiritual medicine also. We were more than enthusiastic to do that. And we feel from Central Bank of India very happy to be associated this morning, and we are more than happy because it is being done by a noble lady which is the first lady of the town, of the state. I have an association with her, also a long association, because her husband was a director in Punjab and Sindh Bank when I was there. At that time, she was not that active in politics as she is today. We are also associated with Apollo hospitals in a sense that when I was the chairman of Oriental Bank of Commerce and Apollo Hospital was coming up, then as from Oriental Bank of Commerce, we thought it is a noble cause and we rendered the financial assistance to see that the Apollo Hospital comes in the town. And today you see Dr. Pratap Reddy, he is not present today here, and today you see that the Apollo Hospital is one of the leading hospitals in the city and doing the service to the humanity. Dr. Tuli, I am indeed indebted to you that you have called me this morning, and I pray to the Almighty to give success to you, to your family, which is the doctor's family, and for this noble cause, whatever you are spreading, may God give you enough courage to take it to the every human being. Thank you very much.
Holistic health is really going to take off. Now, at this stage, I request our chief guest and all the dignitaries on the dais to kindly come and join us in the formal lamp lighting ceremony. Dr. Alvalia, sir, please. Oh, no, Dr. Jibla, please. You did it. No, you can pose with Madam Chief Minister for a pleasant photograph. Well, Dr. Pratap Reddy, as Dr. Balbir Singh just mentioned, is he has really revolutionized the healthcare, having brought in the world's best that is possible. And not only does he promote bringing in the best in modern technology, but it is very close to his heart that we also make available the thousands of years of old wisdom in health through our various traditional healing systems, which not only treat the people, they heal the people, and they are able to do that without the use of any drugs. And we have the most vibrant and dynamic Director of Medical Services of our hospital, Dr. Anupam Sibal here. I welcome him here to give his message on this occasion, please. Dr. Anupam Sibal.
The Honorable Chief Minister of Delhi, Srimati Sheila Dikshit Ji, Mr. Karthikeyan, Dr. Dalbir Singh, Dr. Ahluwalia, Dr. Ajay Gambhir, Dr. Hari Gautam, distinguished citizens of the state of Delhi, Dr. Tuli, Mrs. Tuli. I'd like to say a very good morning to all of you on behalf of Apollo Hospitals, and I send greetings of Dr. Pratap Reddy, who would have been very happy to be here today, but he is in England today. And I spoke with him yesterday, and he asked me to pass on his best wishes to everyone here. It's really a pleasure to be here this morning. When we talk about holistic medicine or holistic health, you know, the history really goes back to about 5,000 years, where our scriptures talk about leading a healthy life in harmony with nature. In the 5th century BC, the Greek philosophers talked about healing not the part, but the whole. Because if you heal just a part, you really don't heal the person. And that really is holistic medicine or holistic health, where we talk not just about the physical, mental, social well-being, but we also talk about the environment, we talk about spirituality, and we talk about an individual as a whole, an individual as a person. And while holistic medicine has been a subject of significant interest in the East, it is now becoming evident that in the West there is a growing interest in this modality. In fact, there is some data available that as much as a quarter of the US citizens would prefer a system of medicine other than conventional medicine as a choice for treatment. And I think that really opens up a whole new chapter in the history of holistic medicine, because now the globe, the world really is looking at holistic medicine. About 5 years ago, when we started talking about medical tourism, everybody thought that was too distant to dream. But in the last 5 years alone, the Apollo hospitals itself have treated more than 60,000 foreign patients from 56 countries. And today, as we talk about India emerging as the global healthcare destination, one of the key determinants of our success in this endeavor is going to be our ability to present, the ability to package ourselves as being able to deliver quality holistic health. And I think the government has really been very active. Just a couple of days ago, the Ministry of External Affairs started a policy of issuing medical visas, because what was happening was that a lot of patients who needed extension were finding it difficult. The backlog for visas in several of our missions was increasing, so the Ministry of External Affairs started a new visa. The Civil Aviation Ministry has been talking about increasing connectivity. The Health Ministry has been talking about accreditation, because one of the things that becomes very, very important is that how does somebody from overseas choose a particular hospital, and there isn't an accreditation system in existence in our country, and of course there's been a lot of movement over the last 6 months in this direction. And then the Ministry of Tourism has actually started to package India as part of its Incredible India campaign as a health destination. And I'm certain that under the dynamic leadership of our beloved Chief Minister, we will see that Delhi will become the hub once India becomes the global healthcare destination. And I think we have what it takes for this to become a reality. One of the challenges that holistic medicine faces today is the confusion that the common man and also the allopathic doctor has with terminology. You know, when we use the term alternative medicine, we perhaps give a negative message, saying that it's an alternative to conventional allopathic medicine. When we use complementary medicine, perhaps that's better because it at least talks about complementing conventional medicine. But I think the most appropriate term really is holistic medicine, because that is what combines allopathy with all the other systems of medicine, and we really want a synergy. We want all the systems to work together, because each one of us who's involved in healthcare joined healthcare only because we feel very passionately about caring for our patients, for their good, for their well-being, and it does not matter what system provides the treatment or the cure. It really is not important. It's that we should work together and we should have synergy. One of the biggest challenges I think that the practitioners of holistic medicine face today is the paucity of evidence to prove that therapy works. And this is one of the reasons why the allopathic doctors somehow tend to look at evidence. In God we trust, all others please bring data. And I think somehow the practitioners of holistic medicine have not focused as much as they perhaps could have in terms of evidence, in terms of peer-reviewed published data, because I think once that data becomes available, all the allopaths will converge and they will see the benefits of holistic medicine, and then we would actually have allopaths working with the practitioners of holistic medicine, and together they will form a formidable team that I think will be of enormous benefit to all our patients. Thank you very much.
Honorable Chief Minister Sheila Dikshit Ji, dignitaries on the dais, my fellow colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great privilege for me, being one of the senior most members of the IMA, to introduce you and present to you the hero of today, the person who has arranged all that, Dr. R. Tuli. Why I am here to introduce him to you? Because I am associated with him for the last 30 years. We both were in the Indian Air Force. No doubt I'm quite senior. And how I met him by chance in the Air Force is also a great story. But I shall not like to go through that story because it's quite long when we were flying together in an aircraft, and he seemed to be there and talking to me on health when I was such a senior post person. So he told me that, sir, I have decided, after being in the Air Force and seeing our pilot getting sick and not being treated properly, I think I should go out and be an advocate of health, not medicine. So our role recently from IMA's role or our doctor's role have now shifted. We have been doing for the last 1 century, we are doing the prescriber of medicines. Now the role has diversified. We are now the prescriber of holistic health. And in this holistic health, there is the pioneer, the person who started the work is my privileged friend, Dr. R.K. Tuli. So Dr. R.K. Tuli started actually the holistic health when he was in the Air Force, but we could not accept holistic health in the Air Force, so he came out. And the only words, there are so many things which I can say, but if I say more, it will be showing light to the sun. He has been with the few word, with only one word, I shall only say that he is the actual crusader of your holistic health. He has pioneered the holistic health, and he has now wants this for everybody to you to accept it. And I shall, with these words, I present to you Dr. R.K. Tuli for what he wants to say about holistic health and how we should follow it. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
No doubt, our association is very old. It's one of the most respected persons that I came across. He was really known for his clinical skills, and as junior somewhere more than 20 years down the line, we really had a lot to learn from him. And when the inspiration comes from such leaders, you automatically get enthused. Well, it is my privilege to present to you here a keynote address this morning, just explaining the concept of holistic health. No doubt, we'll have a very, very great lecture. We have Professor B.M. Hegde, I think is the living legend, the greatest legend of the medical world today, if not in the world, certainly our country. He will be delivering the oration, and I'm sure you are all going to enjoy that. But before that, I just try to make a small presentation in my own humble way. I hope I'll be able to deliver some of the message. Yes, let's start, Natasha. Friends, it's not only I, but a lot of people, and a lot of them who are present here in today's audience, who have continuously inspired me. And it was in fact the thought of such close friends that we formed this society. It's called Society for Holistic Advancement of Medicine. Now when we were picking up the abbreviations, the word emerged SOHAM. And you all know that SOHAM is the primordial sound from which this whole universe emerged. And today, it is the word which is being used, and there are many scientific papers on this to say the continuous repetition of this word. Swami Dharmanandji sitting in the audience is already endorsing my statement that when we use this word, it really helps us to harmonize ourselves. Harmonize our inner self with our outer self, the microcosm to the macrocosm, and in harmony lies health. Health beyond the physical, into your mental and spiritual domains too. Next one, please. So like all auspicious beginnings, we start this program, this talk with this small Vedic prayer. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kashichat dukh bhag bhaveta. May all beings be happy, may all be healthy, may people have the well-being of all in mind, and may nobody suffer in any way. And from here, Sarve Santu Niramaya, we have also incorporated into the logo of Soham. Next one, please. Now, since time immemorial, this is of course again an ancient Vedic saying, Dharmartha kama mokshanam, shariram mula mutthamanam. That whatever you desire to achieve in life, be it religious pursuit, financial gain, fulfillment of desire, or even liberation, you require health. And the medical profession has been entrusted with this responsibility to look after the health of the society. Next one, please. Because health is wealth, we need the health to create wealth. We need the health to enjoy wealth. We can enjoy the health without wealth, but we cannot enjoy wealth without health. So, in short, health is the greatest wealth. And no wonder the keepers of the people's wealth, the Central Bank of India, they are promoting this cause, because they know that if people should have to enjoy their wealth which they are managing, they must continue to enjoy their health. Next one. Sorry, these again saying from Yajurveda. And because health is the greatest wealth, the man since times immemorial have prayed for it, have wished for it, have desired for it. And this quote from Yajurveda, that may I see for 100 years, live for 100 years, hear for 100 years, and may I speak for 100 years, live in comfort and freedom for 100 years. Now, in fact, according to the Vedantic wisdom, this human being is designed for a life of 100 years, to live life it fully, in serving the cause, in serving the humanity, and not die, suffer from disease or die at death, but finally, having accomplished his purpose and objective, depart. प्रस्थान हो गए, स्वर्गलोक चले गए. The word death is never used. Next one. But to achieve this fact, it has worried the humanity for thousands of years and even the medical profession. Ladies and gentlemen, today we appear to have made great technical advancements, but these pyramids, more than 4,000 years old pyramids, make today's technology feel humble. Because not only we can not recreate, we do not know how these pyramids can be built with today's technology. We are nowhere near to it. But for the purpose they were built, they have succeeded. What people saw more than 4,000 years ago, they have succeeded in achieving that those royalties, those bodies whose were kept there, their body tissues have still survived. They have not decayed. Close to home, just 200 kilometers from here, the great Taj Mahal. Today's technology cannot duplicate it. Next one. Well, with the coming up of the modern science, we felt very confident. And 1978, the World Health Organization and the UNICEF jointly launched a worldwide program. They thought, they were very sure, I'm not blocking you. They were very sure that with the available technology, they'll be able to deliver health to all by year 2000. But you know what happened to the fate of this program? That today, we do not have such a date. We do not know whether with the present model, we can even deliver health in the next 1,000 years. Among the causes analyzed were that, unfortunately, while we know our strengths, we also must know our weaknesses. One of the greatest weaknesses of this modern system of medicine, this program failed because it was essentially totally based upon the modern healthcare delivery system, which is largely based upon the system of allopathy. That this system cannot be accessible to a majority of people in the world, that it lacks the basic, the local, the clerical understanding, and there's more and more dependence on drugs and medical interventions. With this very high cost, very severe rate of iatrogenesis, and at the end it remains confined only to the physical health of the individual. And of course, it was highlighted that it lacks spiritual approach. The World Health Assembly in 1986, next one please, in 1986 recommended that the definition of health, before that, we were talking about the huge costs that the modern medicine incurs, which will remain beyond the access of even today the most prosperous nations of the world. For instance, per capita expenditure on pharmaceuticals, 97 costs, France may spend nearly $350, whereas in our country we cannot afford more than $10 to $12 per person. Now when I hear the national planners many times talking that we must double our health budget, what we would achieve? Next one. Besides, today, the American statistics, because one, that's the only country where we really get all statistics. Two, it also guides the medical research and the development of the system all over the world. But this tells us that today American medicine is doing far more harm than the good. That it has become the number one cause of death. Iatrogenesis, death due to medicine, the direct cause of death. the 2001 figures are that nearly 1 million people died due to medical interventions, whereas heart disease and cancer were far way behind. Shouldn't it, as a medical professional, alert me at this revelation? The total cost of this country in US is 1.5 trillion, which is perhaps many times more than our total national gross product. And it kills more people than America has lost in all its wars. Next one. Next one. Antibiotics, which was considered the bane, the 4th or 5th decade of this century. In fact, modern medicine came to be, it started earning its credibility because of the introduction of antibiotics. Today, we know that how much misuse of antibiotics is happening the world over. Whereas 90% infections, upper respiratory infections are due to viruses, 73% patients are being prescribed antibiotics. And out of it, nearly 68% prescriptions are non-recommended broad-spectrum antibiotics, which are not recommended for upper respiratory infections. The profession is using them. Next one. And this is polluting our entire food chain system, degrading human health. Now this is the gift of technology to us. Here between 1983 and 1993, while the US population remained almost about the same, the deaths due to the various accidental causes remained about the same. The deaths due to medication errors have gone up from about 3,000 to 7,500. So with the introduction of increasing technology, modern diagnostics, all that the error rate is only going up. Next one. So, where we got earlier, just after the failure of the Health for All program, there was a deliberations in the World Health Assembly, and the World Health Assembly 1986 recommended that this definition of health so far, which was just a state of physical, mental and social well-being, was not enough, and it recommended that spiritual well-being should also be added to this definition. Next one. And because it is not only the longevity, not in the terms of years the people live, but what is more important is the quality of life that the people live. Next one. So holistic medicine is nothing but it's a worldwide awakening in the medical profession, because doctors are self-selected for perfection. You would all agree that the youngest of the children, the little children, the teenagers, at the stage when they make up their mind to take this profession, they have all nobility in their heart. They know after doing their MBBS and MD, they are going to be nowhere to their peer group who would be earning several times more. It is, when we were medical students, we used to talk among ourselves that our child who really troubles us the most and whom we want to give a rigorous confinement shall be sent to the medical school. In spite of knowing all this, in spite of our advice against this, my daughter chose this profession because she saw some good in it. And we are proud that today we have 3 generations pursuing the same activity. Next one. You know, what is the word prophets? Prophets, because they make prophecies. This is a statement from great Sri Aurobindo that he said in 1910. When I renounced the aid of medicines, then they began to depart from me like disappointed parasites. Then only I understood what a mighty force was the natural health within me, and how much mightier yet the will and faith exceeding mind, which God meant to be the divine support of our life in this body. So it's the power of the self the healing installed within each one of us. And even Hippocrates, whose name we today take an oath when we graduate into the profession of medicine, even he said the greatest factor of health lies is the factor of healing within each one of us. That power, that energy which lies within us. Next one. Well, if we ignore the modern scientific tools, we cannot say that there is nothing like a factor of Atma, spirit, the life force, the prana. Next one. Also, in the practice of medicine, we have forgotten that health is, though this is a basic undergraduate learning which we are taught right at the beginning stage, that health is a product of three factors, a harmony of three factors: the host, the human being, the agent, the disease-causing agent, and our environment. Fortunately, today we have governments responsible for consistently trying to improve our environment, but yet at an individual level, outside our home, this may remain a constant factor. So what becomes important is the agent, and whole of the system of modern medicine is chasing the agent and is not bothered about the poor host, the human being. Doctor says, my medicine will cure you, will treat you, as if the individual has no contribution. If the last 5 decades would be called the age of antibiotics, it's been termed as the antibiotic era. Well, I think I need to highlight here that no antibiotic in the world works in the absence of our own individual immunity. And that's what precisely happens in AIDS. The HIV virus knocks down our immunity, and when this immunity is knocked down, no antimicrobial agent, no antibiotic, no drug works. So what is most important is enhancing the immunity of the individual, and I think the morning session that you had, that is the best factor, best method that can build up your immunity. Next one. Now here I try to show health, the life. We owe this life to the sunlight, to the white solar light. If there was no sunlight, there will be no life on this planet. But this white light in turn comprises of 7 beautiful colors of the rainbow. But just imagine if it was all violet, or if it was all red on this planet, would there be any life? I see most of the heads nodding from left to right. So we need an optimum harmony of the 7 colors to give us the life-giving white light. Similarly, I have tried to explain here that we have so many different systems of medicine. Each system of medicine has got its advantages, it has got its strengths, and also its inherent deficiencies and weaknesses. Though modern medicine remains the backbone of today's healthcare infrastructure, it is inevitable in life-saving critical care, but beyond that, we certainly need to. And also when we talk of health, what we know, today most of the drugs, most of the diseases are being called lifestyle disorders due to faulty food, lack of exercise, sedentary lifestyle. Yoga is a Ashtanga Yoga, a full, Rishi Patanjali has addressed a full philosophy to the way of life, the nature, and of their healthcare delivery system through the famous barefoot doctor. The countries of the West, they all recognize the system. A year and a half ago, even Government of India have accepted this system, given it official recognition, and it has endorsed that. And as Dr. Gambhir shared with you, the Indian Medical Association is already has already decided to start certificate courses in acupuncture and hypnotherapy, because these are the two systems besides the existing systems, Ayush and the modern medicine, which have been recognized. And they act as very useful weapons in the hands of a physician, upgrading his skills a lot. And this forms a bridge between a person in critical care and acute medicine. Also, one of the most common conditions is intractable pain, a pain which does not respond to any drug. It helps, its role in pain is widely appreciated, it's well known that it helps the person to shift from dependence on drugs to the ways of the nature and start restoring health. And this really leads to the full and permanent cure and health in all its dimensions: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual dimensions. Next one. But whatever we do, as in the words of the mother, we must do with love and passion. That's been one of the slogans at Apollo. We do with a humane touch, with tender love and care. And like the green fingers, the passion in the doctor's heart transforms through his fingers. That's called the healing touch. And every doctor must remain aware of this factor, that this is the most important factor which helps in well-being of his patients. Next one. So, friends, holistic medicine is nothing, as Dr. Sibal said, it's a judicious and optimum synergy between the various modern and the so-called alternate systems. In fact, both complement together to call what holistic medicine, which is unity in health, which delivers the best to the patient. The combination of science and art, modern scientific knowledge with ancient wisdom, qualification, skills, conventional, traditional, and as far the evidence-based is concerned, these are time-tested, time-honored. That, I think, is the greatest evidence. The statistical evidences can keep on changing, but the age-old, time-tested evidences cannot change. Here, just trying to show you that holistic medicine, statistically, there's enough evidence that it helps, it works. Of course, we do not have as much access to the medical publications. Today, I want to publish an article in a medical publication. I am not welcome. So that is where the role the society has to play. That is why the public has got together here to awaken the medical profession, to give us the best that they deserve. And we have to start a movement here. Like this program is taken care of by the leading socialites, and some of the biggest opinion makers of the country have gathered here today to give a direction to the country. That's where we have to all get together, and there is no reason that we'll not be able to build up, even fulfill the so-called, the mind, the questioning mind of the allopats. There's no doubt we can absolutely fulfill, but we need little more support. We need more support from the society as well as from within the profession. Now here, just the various causes of incurable pain, that it helps. Incurable means these patients have reached us after having tried the best of modern medicine, and it has worked and helped them. Next one. Similarly, this is the various causes of pain. Nearly we have 56, about 90% success rate. Next one. Backache, which remains the commonest cause of backache, we have very gratifying results. Nearly 95% success returns. Next one. Even hormonal conditions is a condition called polycystic ovarian disease, where the entire hormone system of the lady gets disturbed. Even they can get fully cured. Next one. I mean, just being holistic, it helps cure and without any drugs. Next one. Here's the deafness. A lady, this is a Japanese lady who had gone deaf, and she resorted to the holistic treatment, and within a few days, this is just about 9/1 and 30th one, 21 days gap, her hearing appreciated so remarkably that she went back to her ENT specialist and got her audiograms done, and it showed the improvement, and it improved further, but then she disappeared. We could keep up any further track of her. Next one. So ladies and gentlemen, the message is that holistic medicine complements all the specialties of medicine to improve the final outcome of any sickness. Next one. It is especially useful in various conditions where modern medicine is not working or other systems of medicine have failed. Like I've had a patient who's allergic even to a vitamin C pill, who just can't take any drug in the world. certain times the side effects are far more serious. As you have already seen, the problems, the direct causes of death due to medicine are far higher than the all other diseases. Inadequate response. The patient keeps on suffering from many ailments, and because of which probably he cannot be given certain drugs or medical support. Or person is unfit for, requires a surgery but is unfit for due to certain conditions. Or sometimes they put their foot down that I'll not undergo surgery under any conditions. Or surgery has already been done, but there have been complications or the patient has not got the relief. A residues, relapse of the treatment which had earlier helped the individual. And in any case, it helps add life, improve the well-being, and ensure quicker and far more complete rehabilitation of every individual. No drugs are used, so there's no harms. Following the Hippocratic dictum, primum non nocere, first to no harm. Next one. And it enables efficient cure of a majority of conventionally incurable acute or even chronic ailments. Next one, please. It helps, it has all the advantages because it is nothing but a synergy of the various systems. I would add here, this is a combination of all the recognized systems, of the officially recognized systems, and we are not doing anything new. It's all that just putting them together. So this is the policy of our governments to integrate. But what happens in All India Institute of Medical Sciences, you open a Ayurveda dispensary or a homeopathic dispensary somewhere. That does not really cause integration. It needs an integration of the hearts. And that is why every physician must know its scope. Right at the undergraduate level, its teaching awareness must go into, and at the postgraduate level, this should be available as a specialty. This is what we seek from our governments, and we are very fortunate. Our kind-hearted Chief Minister is here to take this crusade further. Next one. So it works at all the levels of health. Like you are healthy. I often tell people that any one of you who is 70 or 80 years old, I'm sure you know that you can be healthier than what you are today. In other words, even aging is reversible. I'm making a very bold statement. Dr. O.P. Sharma, the President of Indian Geriatric Society, is sitting here, but I am saying with this boldness that aging is reversible from the simple example that Dr. Sharma, whatever your age is, 5 years later, I'm sure you will agree you can be much healthier than you are today, but you have to make some positive effort for that. Next one. So this integration of complementary and alternative medicines into the medical profession gives an opportunity to bring together the strengths and to balance the weaknesses inherent in different systems of healthcare, representing a coming together of the heart, head and hand. Isn't this a process of good beginnings, as an editorial from the British Medical Journal in 2001. Next one. Well, I thank you all for giving me so much time and such patient hearing, especially Madam Chief Minister and all the dignitaries on the staff on the podium. I'm once again highly thankful to you. Spiritual movements, and also he's been trying to reach the public through the media. He's president of India's first Body, Mind and Soul magazine called Life Positive. He's very well aware of these various aspects of life, and that's why he has been our patron, our guide. I will request him to kindly come and say a few words.
It's most appropriate to have a personality like Srimati Sheila Dikshit inaugurate this holistic vision of health. As you see, she is a picture of physical, mental and spiritual. She is a very dynamic and active person. Very rarely you associate politics with spirituality, but she is such a rare exception. She is a spiritual politician, encourages all spiritual activities. As you know, of course, she has done a lot of good to Delhi, and the one I admire most, and the reason scheme she has introduced is this teaching of yoga in parks, public parks. If you are a park goer, you will find in many places large number of people gathering around the yoga teachers. And she mentioned to me just now that very soon she will be introducing this as a regular scheme in at least 70 parks in Delhi. I think that's the biggest contribution for the physical, mental and spiritual health of the citizens of Delhi. After such an elaborate, comprehensive presentation by Dr. Tuli, there is little remains to be told, but still, as we know, the time has changed, lifestyle has changed, environment has deteriorated, in spite of all that the governments are trying to do, the courts are trying to do. There is pollution, air, water, food, everything is contaminated. It's estimated that contamination has increased about 400 times during the last 50 years. The list of incurable chronic diseases is expanding. New deadly diseases are surfacing. Quality of our health is declining. Hospital-acquired diseases are increasing, as pointed out by Dr. Tuli. Diseases due to side effects of potent medicines are on the increase. Immunity is failing. While the longevity has increased, the number of sick people in the society is also increasing. These are all facts of life, we all know. It's a grim situation. We have to salvage the situation. For this, a corrective effort of all systems of medicine is required. No system of medicine is complete or perfect in itself. No system is inferior or superior to the other. Every system has its advantages as well as limitations. When we integrate the positive energies of these systems, we get a wholesome treatment system which can successfully handle and cure diseases. The prohibitive, exorbitant cost of modern diagnosis and treatment has made it beyond the reach of the majority of the population. Modern medical systems cannot reach the remote corners of the villages. In the case of many ailments, especially chronic diseases, the modern medicine can only manage the diseases and cannot cure them. Medical insurance companies, even in the West, are going through a severe crisis due to a large number of claims which they attribute to the failure of the modern medical system in handling such diseases. The established systems and modern medicine cannot tackle all the health problems of millions of people in the world. That's why the WHO has emphasized the need to develop alternate medicines. Following on the World Health Organization's directive, many countries are laying a lot of emphasis on developing alternate systems. Even insurance companies in the West are seriously considering incorporating alternative systems in the insurance coverage. Alternative therapies are affordable, non-invasive, cost-effective, and without any side effect. According to the WHO again, health is more than the absence of disease. Health is a state of optimal well-being. Optimal well-being is a concept of health that goes beyond the curing of illness to one of achieving wellness. Achieving wellness requires balancing the various aspects of the whole person. These are physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. This broader, holistic approach to health involves integration of all these aspects and is an ongoing project. As pointed out earlier, as early as 5,000 years ago, ancient traditions in India and China stressed living a healthy way of life in harmony with nature. In the 4th century BC, Socrates warned against treating only one part of the body. He said, the part can never be well unless the whole is well. The father of the Western medicine, Hippocrates, said that health is about balance, about the interplay of the inner and outer worlds, the individual and the environment. He had a broad, encompassing view of health, which in hindsight was very holistic in its approach. Holistic health is based on the law of nature, that a whole is made up of interdependent parts. The earth is made up of systems such as air, land, water, plants and animals. If life is to be sustained, they cannot be separated. For what is happening to one is also felt by all the other systems. In the same way, an individual is a whole made up of interdependent parts which are physical, mental, emotional and spiritual. That emphasizes the need to look at the whole person, including analysis of physical, nutritional, environmental, emotional, social, spiritual and lifestyle values. Holistic health is the discovery of the wholeness of life in us, around us, and thus enabling the body, mind, emotions and spirit to work together. The interconnectedness of life is a fundamental biological truth. Humans are a part of nature, not apart from it. As William James said, the greatest revolution of our generation is the discovery that human beings, by changing the inner attitudes of their minds, can change the outer aspects of their lives. Even the American Center for Disease Control and Prevention reports that the key factors influencing an individual state of health have not changed significantly over the last 20 years. It says the quality of medical care is only 10%. Here, heredity accounts for 18%, environment is 19%, everyday lifestyle choices are 53%. The decisions people make about their life and habits are, therefore, by far the largest factor in determining their state of wellness. The most obvious choices people make each day is what they consume, both physically and mentally. The majority of illnesses and premature death can be traced back to lifestyle choices. These are well-known dangers associated with drugs, alcohol, nicotine, and unprotected sexual activity. While preventing illness is important, holistic health focuses on reaching higher levels of wellness. A holistic approach to healing goes beyond just eliminating symptoms. In holistic medicine, a symptom is considered a message that something needs attention. So the symptom is used as a guide to look below the surface for the root cause. Then what really needs attention can be addressed. The practice of holistic medicine integrates conventional and alternate therapies to prevent and treat diseases. Holistic medicine encompasses all safe and appropriate modalities of diagnosis and treatment. Again, to quote the American Board of Holistic Medicine and American Holistic Medical Association, the practice of holistic medicine integrates conventional and complementary therapies to promote optimal health and to prevent and treat diseases. Our behavior and choices we make in our life affect our health. We can choose to do more of what is good for us and the world around us, and to do less of what is harmful. When we change because we genuinely want to experience the positive results of change, we are much more likely to succeed than acting out of fear. Again, to quote Hippocrates, foolish is the doctor who despises the knowledge acquired by the ancients. Wisdom and knowledge are precious, no matter where it lies. Being we should try to understand, imbibe, synthesize, propagate, and practice for the benefit of humanity at large. He stays with me. He is a Bengali gentleman. He has been practicing the yoga, meditating on the sun. I had taken him to Kailas Mansarovar last month, along with a group of people. Two pieces of cloth, the dhoti and the like Mahatma Gandhi, but then he doesn't wear even the shoes or chappals. At Mount Kailas, Mansarovar he had walked up to the place, 18,000, 19,000 feet. He was even lying on the glacier. I wanted to see if it can be done. And the whole trip he didn't take food or water. After the yatra, it possible or not. And he has not done. And he is saying, he doesn't say, I am a gifted person, I am blessed by any. He said, in fact, there have been invitations for him to other countries also. The process, but he says, I take energy from the sun, the source of supreme energy, cosmic energy. And he can remain, I know he has remained without food and water for weeks together, that much I can say. And he says he can remain for months together, and he's with a television camera, watch me all the time. It's possible. What I'm saying is, if he's proved right, unlimited human possibilities. If he's proved wrong, even then I respect him. Because at least at 19,000 feet, when even the Mount Tibetans were putting on all these woolen clothes and all that, they were shivering, and the Nepalese and the photographs with him, how can the man remain with just a piece of cloth, two pieces of cloth, without any warm clothing, without shoes and all that? What I'm saying is, all these possibilities are there among our own people. I want you to not to be superstitious, to reject everything as a superstition. Biggest superstition to reject, these are all because I cannot do it. Any one of you can do it on him. Prove it, enormous possibilities, particularly for your space research and all that. The biggest problem is the food. If some of them can be trained in this Sun Yoga, and as he says, if it's proved to be correct, the enormous possibilities are open. And perhaps we won't have starvation deaths also in this country. And I wish Dr. Tuli this project. I am not a technical man, I am not a scientific man, but I believe in this natural way of life, spiritual healing, and people like this to be recognized, experimented, tested, then proved or rejected. Don't reject it because I cannot do it, somebody else cannot. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Her blessing